So good morning. Welcome. Happy Friday. It's a 1 hour gentle Kripalu yoga class. I'm Judith. Welcome. As you may or may not know, I don't know if we have new people today, but we do use a yoga mat. And if you don't have a yoga mat, you could substitute it with a folded blanket or towel, beach towel, perhaps, on a carpeted surface, nothing hard like tile or wood, because your joints will let you know. They don't like that. Also, yoga blocks. These are the styrofoam versions. If you don't have yoga blocks, substitute with a couple of canned goods, equal size and weight, perhaps. Here's a standard yoga strap. This is easy to substitute with a scarf, a dog leash, a belt, a bathrobe tie. And then this is like some impromptu padding. This is a squishy mat that I have. I have a rolled up towel with rubber bands. It's like a little bolster, but you could use small cushions from the sofa or the bed. Optional would be hand weights. This is a set of 1-pounders, nothing heavier than a set of 2-pounders for this class, please. We don't want anyone to get overzealous and then hurt themselves. I know where that comes from. So, and then last but not least, our friend, the chair. So this is a no wheels, no arms chair, folding metal chair with some padding, anything that won't move. So if you put the chair on your yoga mat or where the back legs push up against the wall, meets the baseboard or the floor, that way you know the chair will not give way if you start pressing on it. So questions you can ask at the end of the class. I'll be happy to stick around. So let's start with the feet. Let's just do shoulder width apart and start with the hips. We're just going to start circling those hips. And then think about inhaling forward and squeezing the navel to spine, squeezing, exhaling as you round in the back. So big full breath. Think about directing that breath all the way to the bottom lobes of the lungs. 2 more in this direction. And then coming back, corkscrewing back to center. And then circling the hips the opposite direction. So you're inhaling forward, squeezing navel to spine as you circle in the back. Let's do 4 of these. 3, 2, 1. Very nice. And then circling back to center, rolling the shoulders, opening the chest, circling those shoulders, opening the chest, because we tend to slump. We have more reasons to slump nowadays. We have computers, electronic devices, steering wheels, shopping carts. Just 2 more in this direction. Very nice. And let's bring the arms to stillness. We're going to take our bird beak hands, the 4 fingers together, meet the thumb. And we're going to start tapping right here in the center of the chest, right over the heart. And also located here is the thymus gland. And that's responsible for immunity. So we're waking up the thymus gland. This is the thymus thump for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you can go up and down the torso, not just confine yourself to the thymus area. This is tapping. This is a great way to wake up those reflexology points that are found throughout the body. And let's bring that back to the thymus, and let's extend the right arm. And either with your bird beak hands or flat of fingers, you can start tapping down the inside of the right arm, all the way to the fingertips. Flip the arm over and you come up the outside of the arm. That's the yang meridian. When you're up here by the neck and shoulders, give it some tapping. And let's do the armpit today. Another place where the lymph dumps. So we're encouraging the lymph to move. Let's go down the inside of the right arm, the yin meridian. Flip the arm up the outside of the arm, the yang meridian. Give some attention now to that neck and shoulder. That shoulder area gets nice and tight. And then let's do the armpit. Last time now, down the inside of the right arm. flip the arm and do the outside of the arm. Let's do the neck and the shoulder. Let's do the armpit. And before we leave this area, see if you can, you don't even have to tap. You can just dig your fingers or your knuckles into that meaty muscle there in the shoulder. It's another area that gets, for me at least, it's like concrete up there sometimes. So good way to massage and loosen some of that tension. And then let's just take that back to the thymus, tapping in the center. And then we're going to extend the left arm. We can tap down the inside of the left arm, the yin meridian, flip the arm, up the outside, the yang meridian. Don't forget the neck and the shoulder. Let's do the armpit. Then one more time, two more times actually, down the inside of the arm, back up the outside of the arm, do the neck and shoulder. Don't forget the armpit. Down the inside of the arm, up the outside of the arm, neck and shoulder, armpit. And before we leave this area, just go back to that other side of the shoulder girdle, and with your knuckles or your fingers, you're going to massage the back of the neck, the shoulder. It's nice and tight in there. Lots of stress likes to live there, so we're going to move it along. Very nice. And then bringing that to stillness. Let's just shake out the arms, shake out the legs. If you have blocks, grab one block. If you don't have them, you could flip your chair around, place your hand on the chair seat for support. If you need it, you may not need it. So let's take the legs wide. Toes point out 30 to 45 degrees. Inhale, bend the knees, they track over toes, and the torso is going to stay upright. So try to avoid lurching forward, all right? So inhale, bend, exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend, exhale, straighten. We'll do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, stay down on 1, little pumps. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's stay down here onto this big, deep squat. Let's take the right forearm to the right thigh. Maybe your left hand wants to rest on this block or the chair seat. Maybe you don't need it. Maybe your left hand reaches the mat. Now the left leg is straight. The left heel digs into the mat. The toes point to sky. And on the right, you're pumping into the right hip. We're generating synovial fluid. Synovial fluid is what lubricates the joints throughout the body. It doesn't start happening till you move the joint. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gliding through center without lifting up if you can avoid it. Left forearm to left thigh. Right leg is now straight. Nice stretch for that inner thigh adductor muscle, which we tend to forget about. And now the right heel is digging into the mat. The toes point up to sky. And you're pumping into the left hip. Try not to let the head dangle. And squeeze those abs. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to center. Let's stay in the center in this squat. You might want to take your block on another higher level so you can bring the floor closer to you. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, straighten the legs as you bow to your mat. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, straighten the legs. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's stay in this forward, wide-legged forward fold. Maybe the hands rest on the mat. Maybe they rest on the chair seat or the block. Let's shake the head yes. And then shake the head no. Maybe add some horse lips, some Mr. Ed. And here you might want to start generating a little sway side to side with the legs, if that feels right. Remember to engage the abdominals to protect the low back here. I've interlaced the fingers. I'm swaying the arms from side to side. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Come back to center. Stay in your forward fold. Now the right hand grabs the outside of the left ankle. Right hand grabs outside of left ankle. You're trying to press the chest close to the top of the left thigh. The top left arm could go straight up to sky, but maybe not. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. If the top arm is straight, little circles. 4, 3, 2, 1. Other way. 4, 3, 2, 1. Top arm comes down. Come back to center. Maybe little wiggles in the center here just to recalibrate. And now legs are straight. Left hand grabs outside of right ankle. Left hand grabs outside of right ankle. Press the chest close to the top of the right thigh. And then the arm floats up to the sky. If the top arm is too much, just rest it on the sacrum. And you're pressing the chest into the top of the right thigh for 4, 3, 2, 1. The top arm is straight, little circles. 4, 3, 2, 1. Other way. 4, 3, 2, 1. Top arm comes down. Slowly go back to center. Heel toe the feet together or step the feet together, whichever works. I'll do this in profile so you can see. So now the hands rest at the ankles. It'll be a series of flat back lifts. Hands drag along the shin bones. Inhale, flat back lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back lift. Exhale, forward fold. Let's do 4, squeeze the abs. 3, 2. Nice. And then slowly come up. Hands rest on thighs as you stack the bones, slowly rising up. Let's roll the shoulders. A couple of times forward, up, back, and down, and then the opposite direction. Breathing. Big full breath. And then coming to stillness, let's bring the feet directly under the hips. One hand on heart, one hand on belly. Maybe you want to drop the eyes closed, maybe not. Either that or soft gaze on the earth is perfectly fine. So just settling a bit, just noticing where the energy has moved in the body. Let's inhale, deep, full breath. And you're going to pause at the top. And then exhale, a longer exhale. Say count to 5. Exhale out for 5. So think about inhaling for 3 and exhaling for 5. Inhale. Pausing. Exhale for 5. With the mouth. Inhale. Pausing at the top. Exhaling for 5. Inhale for 3. Exhale for 5. Last time. And then slowly unwinding the arms, shaking out the arms, eyes can float open. Let's interlace the fingers behind the back of the body now. And if that doesn't happen, if the hands don't want to meet, if you have a strap or a substitute strap, you can just take the strap behind you You can work the hands together over time. They don't have to happen in the next 5 minutes. And if that isn't happening, then maybe just the palms facing the midline if the palms don't want to go together. So stretch the arms away and you're going to open the chest. Tuck the chin a bit so you can protect the back of the neck. And you're breathing. Now float those fists over to the right hip. You're going to get a big stretch in the left shoulder girdle. So try not to torque off to the left. See if you can keep the chest square to the front of your space or that straight edge of the mat for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then slowly drawing those arms back to center. Now the fists rest on the left hip. Try not to torque off to the right. This side might feel different, but you're getting a huge stretch in that right shoulder girdle. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Let's go ahead and keep the feet directly underneath the hips. Stretch the arms away. If you want more, tuck the chin and come into a forward fold, drawing the arms over the head or in that direction until you come to your sticking point. Let's do 3 big breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then slowly rising up, flat back, squeeze the abs as you rise. Come on up. Very nice. Let's shake everything out. Let's go ahead and move the blocks away if you were using them. And then grab your chair. And I'm going to face the back of the chair here. So hands can be resting on the back of the chair. Make sure your chair is stable. So let's start with the feet pointing forward, hip distance apart. I won't mirror you for this. Right foot goes all the way back. And maybe you want to adjust the front foot, adjust the width of the legs so that you feel stable, that they're wide enough to feel stable. The torso will stay upright. Lifting back right heel. Inhale, lift, exhale, press. Inhale, lift, exhale, press. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That heel goes back to earth. Now both knees are going to bend. Inhale, bend, exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend, exhale, straighten. For 4, 3, 2. Let's stay down on 1. Little pumps. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. And then coming forward with the right foot, let's shake out the legs, shake out the feet. Same starting position. This time it's the left foot that goes back. You might want to adjust the width of the legs here to feel stable. So you're going to keep the torso upright, no lurching forward if you can avoid it. Lifting the top left heel, inhale and exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relift the back left heel. Both legs are going to bend. Inhale, bend, exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend, exhale, straighten for 4, 3, 2. Let's stay down on 1. Little pumps. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Re-straighten those legs. Left foot meets the right. Shake out both feet. Shake out both legs. See how that feels. And now let's turn this chair around. Oh boy. So now we're facing the chair seat. You're relatively close. You're going to come into a right angle position. So the back is flat, the head isn't dangling. Legs are straight into the mat. So you're making a right angle with your body. And here again, I will not mirror you for this. Shift the weight into the left leg. Bend the right knee. Inhale, bend. Extend the leg back out. Donkey kicks. Exhale. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Refloat that leg, point the right toes, touch the toe down. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Refloat, rebend that right knee now. Foot is flexed. Pump that foot up to the sky like you're stamping your foot on the ceiling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Right foot comes back to meet the left. Here we can pause in the middle just to micro bend the knees left and right, recovering, recalibrating. Don't forget to breathe. Deep, full breaths, LSD breaths, long, slow, and deep. Yes. Now we're shifting the weight to the right leg. Left knee bends into the nose. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Donkey kicks for 8, 7. Don't let the head dangle. 6, 5, 4. Squeeze the abs. 3, 2, 1. Re-straighten. Point that toe. Touch and lift for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Refloat, flex the left foot, bend the left knee, pump this foot up towards the sky. Little pumps. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Left foot meets the right. Micro bend the knees left and right. Oh. And then bringing the legs to stillness, just step back a bit. This is a form of downward facing dog, standing, using the chair. You want to stretch your hands forward. I'm modifying because I have a shoulder injury, but stretch it as far as you can and see if you can get the chest close to the tops of the thighs. And let's do a little micro bend with the knees here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs come to stillness. Walk the feet forward. You might want to grab the back of the chair to stand up slowly, avoiding dizziness, avoiding head rush. Roll the shoulders. Very nice. Let's take the chair off to one side now. And if we have new people, I'm going to go down on the earth. So I'll give you the quick tutorial on how to use the chair if you are anxious about getting onto the floor and then getting back up. Face your chair seat. Shift the weight into one leg and then slowly bend one knee, bend second knee. You're on the earth. Most of the weight goes in the arms for that, all right? To get back up, same grip on side of chair seat. Maybe the forearms want to come on the seat itself. If you need to assist the leg to go forward, assist the leg. You're going to tuck the back toes. Most of the weight goes in the arms. Inhale, press up, lifting the bum. Left foot under the seat, right foot under the seat. And then once again, very slowly standing upright to avoid dizziness, head rush, passing out. We don't want you to do that, okay? So if you've got blocks, you might want to put them at the narrow end of the mat. And we'll move into some forward folds. Big swan dives forward. Inhale up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. 2 more. Lifting and folding. Lifting, and we're going to stay down now. If the fingertips don't come to the mat or to your feet, then maybe place them on a low block. You're going to micro bend the knees here. We're stretching out that low back area, the sacrum. Another place in the body that likes to collect stress and tightness. We'll do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Legs come to stillness. Hands come to mat or low blocks. Step back into downward facing dog. The body's in a triangle shape. You can bicycle pedal the heels here. Wag your dog tail. Barking is optional. If you're there at home, you can do that. It might feel good to let it out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. The knees float down to the mat. Big toes together. Knees wide apart. Press into child. This is where I take my rolled towel. I secure it behind the knees and then press the hips back towards the heels. So the towel creates more space for the bum can get back closer to your heels. The arms might want to go forward on the mat. Maybe they want to go beside the legs. And if the forehead doesn't come to the mat, stack palms, rest the forehead there. Stack fists, rest the forehead there. Or the low block, you could rest your forehead there. And then once you've organized your best version of child's pose, maybe you want to do little rocks side to side, stretching out the quads, the thighs. And think about breathing into the back body here. Let's come to stillness in the middle. Big inhale into back body. Inhale, lower back, middle back, upper back. Noticing the pause at the top. Exhaling, upper, middle, lower back, squeezing out all the air at the bottom. Inhale, lower back, middle back, upper back, noticing the pause at the top. Exhaling, upper, middle, lower back, squeezing out all the air at the bottom. 2 more just like that on your own. Inhale. And then very mindfully, let's come halfway out of child's pose. Let's nestle the top of the right foot into the arch of the left foot. And then you're going to press back into your child's pose. So you're smushing the bottom left foot, pumping in fresh blood, chi, life force, etc. Meanwhile, the arms and the hands go on the left, on the earth, on the side. And the right hip is going to press away in the opposite direction, 45 degrees on the diagonal, resulting in a large, delicious stretch on the right side of the body. Maybe little wiggles here, but maybe not. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Let's come back to center. Let's come halfway out of your child's pose. Reverse the position of the feet. The top of the left foot nestles into the arch of the right foot. Then you press back into your full-blown child's pose. The arms and the hands go on the right on the earth. The left hip presses away 45 degrees on the diagonal. Big, ginormous stretch on the left side of the body. Should feel yummy. And maybe there's little micro movements, but maybe it's a static press. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Let's come back now to center. Lifting up, coming out of your child's pose, unwinding the feet. Maybe you want to put extra padding under your knees at this point. You can always pamper your knees because they get very crabby as we age. So being kind to your knees is a good idea. And either the hands go flat on low blocks or the hands can go flat on the mat. The hips are over the knees, the shoulders over elbows, elbows over wrists, fingers spread wide. But if you have pain in your hands and your wrists from arthritis or some other reason, they can come farther forward. Let's do a series of cat-cow, but first we're going to tuck the 10 toes. So cat-cow is drop the belly, spread the sits bones wide, exhale, arch and squeeze like a Halloween cat. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, arch and squeeze. So here again, we're focusing attention on the spine. You are as young as your spine is flexible. That's a new saying that's been bouncing around. So inhale and exhale, squeezing navel to spine. Let's do a few more at your own rhythm, your own pace. One more time. Let's come back to neutral table. The 10 toes are still tucked. Let's rock back and forth on the 10 toes. Some people can sit on their heels for this. I'm not one of them. So you decide what's your best middle version of this without hurting yourself. I'm just rocking back and forth for 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Back to neutral table. Untuck the 10 toes. Pound the tops of the feet. Getting some blood flow going into those little piggies, those toes. We tend to forget about our feet till they start screaming, you know. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Slowly bring them to stillness. Let's go ahead now and come to sitting. Slowly. There's no rushing. Here, you might want to fold an extra blanket or towel to sit on. It will bring the pelvic bowl forward and prevent you from inadvertently slumping backward, you know. So maybe you want to sit on a prop or not. I'm going to start with Sukhasana, easy pose. And I like to take my blocks and prop the thighs so that I'm not gripping in the hip crease. If for some reason the knees aren't wanting to do that, you could straighten the legs, roll those blocks underneath the knees, and you have support with the legs straight, and you'll do the movements with the legs straight. So whichever you choose is fine. Sukhasana, the ankles technically line up one in front of each other. Let's grab the shins or the knees and just start circling the rib cage here. See if you can isolate the ribs. So everything else is still except for those ribs, who are also, the ribs are squeezing those internal organs, promoting blood flow, and the carrying off of waste products, debris, etc. So think about inhaling forward, squeezing the navel to spine as you round in the back. Let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then coming back to stillness in the center, going the opposite way, whatever way that is for you. So inhale forward, exhale back, always coordinating the breath with the movement. Let's do 4 more, 3 more, 2 more, last one, coming back to neutral. Let's do a little bit more of what we just did earlier. Let's think about pushing the sternum forward, inhale forward, exhale, roll the spine, squeeze navel to your spine. Inhale forward, round the back, squeeze navel to spine. So finding this forward and back rocking motion, again, encouraging the spine to become more flexible, focusing your attention on the spine. Where your attention goes, the energy flows. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. And then coming back to center. The hands can go here by the side of the body, wherever it feels good. Sweep the arms up, inhale up, exhale, twist to the right. That front hand could rest on the thigh, not the knee. The back hand could be by the hip. And now we're looking over the right shoulder to the wall behind for 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to stay in this twist. Just slightly release. Inhale, slightly release. Exhale, squeeze and turn. Inhale, slightly release. Exhale, squeeze and turn. We'll do 4, 3, 2. Use that front hand for leverage. 1. Nice. Sweep the center. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the left. Front hand rests on thigh, not knee. The back hand can rest by the hip. Now you're looking over the left shoulder to the wall behind. This twist might feel different. It might feel the same. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Staying in the twist, but slightly release. Inhale, slightly release. Exhale, squeeze and turn. Inhale, slightly release. Exhale, squeeze and turn. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. And then sweeping back through center. Inhale up. Let's press the air down by the side of the body. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale, press. Inhale up. Exhale, press. This time, lift the arms up. Now, this time, we're going to go forward. Hands could land on the mat, on the earth. They could land maybe on your knees or your shins if your legs are straight. But wherever they land, just press them in to give you support, as you can do little micro movements, perhaps here in the middle, but maybe not. Maybe it's just a plain old static press. No worries. And now we're going to tiptoe over to the right. You're going to ground through the left sits bones. Oh, remembering to squeeze the abs, remembering to breathe, coordinating the breath with the movement. Let's go back to center. Tiptoeing over to the left. You're grounding through the right sits bones. Breathing, chest close to the knee and thigh. You could say good morning to your knee and thigh. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Back to center. Tiptoeing the hands back to the body. If your legs are crossed, let's reverse the position of the legs and the feet. Back foot in front foot in back. Maybe pulling the flesh away from the sits bones one more time. Inhale up. Let's do the side presses. Exhale down. Inhale up, big breath. Exhale, press it away. Big breath in. Big breath out. Now this time the arms come up. This time they go into the center. Ooh, now maybe this fold of the legs might feel different. Maybe not. Static press, micro movements, you decide. Big full breath. Don't forget to breathe into the back body. And then coming back over to the right. Maybe micro movements, maybe nothing, just saying hello to your knee and thigh. Let's go back to center. Tiptoe over to the left. Oh, grounding through the right sits bones. Big full breaths. And then coming back to center. Let's drop the forearms to the earth if that's available. If it's not, no worries. Maybe you want to drop the forearms to the earth, maybe you don't. As you lift out of the spine, maybe you want to drop the forehead to the mat. Maybe, maybe not, maybe in some other lifetime. Just don't push anything, don't force anything. I'm using my upper arms against my shins, and I've got my hands flat on the mat. You're going to pull the mat like you're trying to pull the mat, isometrically pull the mat towards you. The crown of the head is pushing forward. And imagine there's a strap around your hips pulling you to the wall behind. So you've got a two-way push and pull here. Big full breath. Don't let the head dangle. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the pressure. Then walk the hands back gradually. And then we're going to extend, everyone can extend their legs now. Oh, this should feel good. And let's just shake them out. Oh boy. And take them a little bit wider. So the hands could go wherever feels good, wherever feels you feel supported. You're going to flex and point the feet, stretch the toes, and spread the toes wide, flexing and pointing, flexing and pointing, and see if you can sit nice and tall, squeezing those abs while you do this. And then when that feels comfortable and familiar, you can start adding in circling of the ankles. Oh, yeah, it might be pops and crunches, but usually that's just gas or air in the joint. So no worries. And let's go the other direction with the circling. You're still sitting tall. You're still squeezing those abs. Very nice. And let's just bring all of that to stillness. Let's keep the feet flexed. And maybe you need to adjust the width just slightly, not too far. Internally rotate both legs. Toes point to sky. Externally rotate. So you're doing like a rainbow arc here with your toes. Nice and gentle. And we're pumping synovial fluid all the way into all the joints up the leg for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. And then just bounce the legs a bit just to get them back to square one. And you can remove all the props from your mat if needed, but have the props handy. Let's go ahead and point the toes to the narrow end of the mat. You can grab back of thigh, front of shin, avoid the knee joint, please. So inhale forward, and we're going to squeeze it as you roll back. But think about lifting the chest as you drop the shoulders. You tuck the chin. Inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale forward, exhale back. Last one, inhale forward, exhale back. Let's stay back. Once again, drop shoulders away, tuck the chin, lift the chest. Maybe one lower leg lifts up. Maybe the second leg lowers up. Or you could do half and half with one foot on the earth, no worries. You might want to stay right here, balancing. Upward boat in yoga. Maybe the arms want to come out, but maybe they don't. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Little open, little squeeze, little open, little squeeze. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Feet come down, thank goodness. Put the chest through the knees. And now we're going to just slowly roll it on down, vertebra by vertebra, onto the back. Nice and slow. And then just draw those bent knees into the chest. Maybe you want to rock side to side. Maybe you want to just do a static press in the middle. You can decide what feels good. Breathing. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then coming back to the middle, let's float the feet down to the earth. The knees will stay bent. Taking the feet net width apart, arms could be in T position. We're just going to windshield wiper the knees side to side for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's drop the knees over to the left and leave them there. You might want to drop the knees onto a block or a cushion in the block, or not. They don't have to go to the earth. And maybe the face and the neck want to look to the right. So bent knees to the left, face and neck to the right. If it bothers your neck to look to the right, don't do it. Just skip it. Now I have the right hip here. I'm going to pulse to where the wall meets the ceiling. And it's just like a little pulse with the right hip, stretching it out just a bit more. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Coming back to center. Repositioning the feet mat width apart, windshield wipering the knees side to side. Should feel yummy. Massaging the back body. And the next time the knees drop to the right, leave them there. They don't have to go to the earth. Maybe the face and neck want to look to the left. Bent knees to right, face and neck to the left. If it bothers your neck to look to the left, skip it. So now the left hip is going to pulse to where the wall meets the ceiling this time, right? So you're pulsing it back and forth for 4, 3, 2, 1, back to neutral. Again, windshield wipering the knees. If you feel really tight and stiff when you wake up in the morning, this is a nice movement to get things gently moving. Let's do 4, just waving the knees back and forth. 3, 2, 1, very nice. And coming back to center. Now let's draw the knees fairly close, the heels close to the bum. If you have a strap, grab your strap. And if not, you can grab the backs of your thighs if you don't have a strap. So we're going to mindfully lift both legs up into the sky. And you're going to loop the strap around the balls of the feet, both feet. And the feet and legs are going to stay in parallel. So think about having a nice taut grip on your strap. You're going to bend both knees. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5. Hello, hamstrings. 4, 3, 2, 1. Re-straighten. Now you're going to stretch the legs wide, like in a big wide V. So we're going to stretch the legs out, and then we're going to rock from side to side. It's a very nice self-soothing motion here. We're opening up the inner parts of the legs. We're massaging the back body. We're self-soothing, rocking back and forth. Just a little return to the crib where you played with your feet, the mobile, whatever was handy. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. And then back to center. Let's take the legs back to neutral. We're going to lose the strap. And then you're going to bend the right knee. Your right foot lands on the earth. And you're going to keep your left leg elevated. You're going to bend the left knee. You're going to angle it out about 30 degrees. And either with your hand or your strap, you can grab the outside or the inside of the left foot, or you could use the strap. The knee is angled out, and it's going to inhale, bend the left knee. Exhale, straighten the leg. Inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, straighten the leg. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Rebend. Reposition the left leg. Left foot comes back down to earth. Very nice. Draw the right knee into the mat, into the chest, sorry. And the left foot is now grounding on the earth. With your hand or a strap, grab the inside or the outside of the right foot or the other foot you didn't do. I don't know what side you might be on. Doesn't matter. And then that right knee angles out about 30 degrees. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Rebend that knee. Re-angle the leg. Right foot comes to earth. And let's one more time take the feet mat width apart. Very gently. Couple windshield wipers with the knees. No rushing. Just a little release. And then the legs come back up to neutral. From here, rolling onto your left hip. So the bottom hip is the left hip. You might want to rest your head on the upper arm, or perhaps a block if you have a block. And then the left hip is on the bottom, the right hip is on top. Legs and thighs all stacked together. Imagine there's a glass wall behind you so that you're not going to lurch forward, back when we start lifting the right leg. So we're just going to lift it up and we're going to extend it so that it's perpendicular to the body. Inhale, bend, exhale, stretch. Inhale, bend, exhale, stretch. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. We bend. Now with your hand or a strap, grab the top of the foot, the ankle, or the shin, and you're going to draw that leg back behind you through that glass wall, that imaginary wall. You're pressing the foot into the hand into the foot for 4, 3, 2, 1. Replace that leg, right leg on top of left. Take a nice deep breath, refloat the top right leg. Extend the leg perpendicular to your body. Now we're going to swing this leg like a big rainbow arc. So you're going to swing the leg up, down. Maybe the toes touch your fingertips up here. Maybe they don't. It's a big swing with the leg. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Restack the legs. Now all you have to do is, oh no, one more thing. Oh, we did that. Let's go over to the back. Sorry. Trying to make sure everything gets in there. And now the bottom hip is the right hip. The legs are stacked. The arm is straight. That bottom arm is straight. And my little thing just fell out of my ear. Here we go. Okay, good. So float the top left leg. The foot is flexed. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten, perpendicular to the body for 4, 3, 2, 1. We bend that knee. With your hand, grab the shin, the ankle, or the top of the left foot. You're keeping the hips stacked as you draw the leg behind you through that imaginary glass wall. You press the hand into the foot into the hand for 4, 3, 2, 1. Take the leg, restack it just as we were at the beginning. Refloat the top left leg, flex the foot, extend the leg perpendicular to your body. Now you're going to swing the leg in a big rainbow arc. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then refolding the legs, gently rolling onto the back body. And one more time, drawing the knees into the chest, massaging that low back area for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then slowly coming down. Again, the legs are bent. Let's cross the left thigh on top of right thigh, no space between the thighs. Float the feet off the earth. Grab the shins like bicycle handlebars. Both feet are flexed. Your tailbone drops to the mat. And you're pressing the thighs into the chest with a steady pressure. Feet are flexed, and now they're also externally rotated. You should automatically feel it in the outer left hip for 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Unwind the legs, shake them out between sides. Maybe give yourself a little more massage with the hands. That feels good too. And then cross right thigh on top of left thigh. Bend the knees, grab the shins like bicycle handlebars. Draw the thighs into the chest with a steady pressure, not a pulse. And flex both feet. Now externally rotate both feet. You should feel it in your outer right hip for 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the tension, unwind the legs, shake them out. Maybe you want to just Brush the energy back down towards the core of the body, and then making any final movements you'd like to make before we go to Shavasana, our favorite pose, resting pose, corpse pose. The legs and arms can be 30 to 45 degrees on the mat. Maybe roll a towel or a bolster under the knees to protect the low back if your low back is cranky. If flat on the back isn't working, return to feet mat width apart, knock the knees together in the center like a tent. Restorative rest. If that doesn't work, resting on one side, stacking just where we were, stacking hips and legs together, resting your head on the upper arm or a mat. Or if you have an available wall, you might want to put your legs and feet up the wall, or sit in a chair. Feet flat, crown head floating to sky, long spine. And once you've organized your Shavasana, just allowing the eyes to drop closed, relaxing face and jaw, the back of the neck, and noticing any residual tension that might remain, and breathing into those areas for some total relaxation. Now we're imagining our hot tub. Feet are placed in that warm relaxation. And then as it envelops the feet, moves into the ankles. And then it moves into the low legs. From there, that warmth, that relaxation moves into the knees. And then it moves into the thighs, allowing legs and feet to become very, very heavy. That relaxation moves into the hips, the pelvis, the buttocks, the low back releases. And from there, from the belly, it moves into the waist and torso, enveloping the ribs, heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, spleen, pancreas, colon, stomach, all the vital organs deeply relaxed. It moves into the chest and shoulders and rolls down both arms all the way to the fingertips, all the way to the fingertips. And then it moves into the throat and the neck. And then it moves into the head, all the way to the crown of the head. The back of the neck releases, the face and the jaw let go. Tongue lies at the bottom of the mouth, teeth slightly apart, eyes sink deep into the skull, as though a white circle of healing light envelops the entire body, noticing back body and front body, right side and left side, noticing the whole body together, the whole body together, the whole body together. And here's a quote from Pema Chodron, her book, Welcoming the Unwelcome. In brain science, there's a lot of talk these days about neuroplasticity. Our habits are like grooves in the brain, which get deeper and deeper as we follow our usual thought patterns. There's no way out of the habit as long as we keep following the same rut. But when we interrupt our habitual behavior or go against our propensities, we start to establish new pathways in the brain. When we start to ask ourselves, does it matter? We realize how many aspects there are to every situation. We begin to appreciate how interconnected we are to the rest of the world, and how even our thought patterns can lead to a whole series of consequences. If you'd like to remain in Shavasana for as long as feels right, please feel free to stay right there. But if you're ready to meet the day, Begin to bring some gentle movement to fingers and toes and arms and legs. And as you are ready, drawing the knees into the chest, giving yourself a well-deserved hug. And then rolling onto your favorite side and pausing there for just a few breaths in embryo posture. And on the next inhale, keeping the eyes closed, press yourself up into a comfortable seated posture, rooting the sits bones down into the earth, drawing the crown of the head up into the sky, scanning the body for the effects of the practice, and thanking the body for all it does all day, every day, and bringing to mind one thing for which you are grateful. And on the next inhale, let's float the palms up overhead, hands meet in prayer, dropping down the midline, stopping at the heart, Samastiti. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you stand in the light of your own true self. I salute the bright light in each and every one of you. Namaste. Jai Bhagwan.